Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video responding to a really great question someone sent in on the Facebook fan page. Dan sent in a question, and he was asking about the parallels, if any, between sort of the crisis or controversy, maybe controversy is a better way to put it, between sort of next-gen consoles in gaming seem to be trying to freeze out the used gaming industry, sort of, GameStop or wherever you would go to trade in your game and get another one, by making it pretty difficult to, if even possible, to do that. Basically all the trading would be happening via their own console. You'd sort of trade between profiles and things like that. And it's more or less, I mean, it's a pretty big threat to places like GameStop, where if there are no more games coming into trade, they could be in a pretty bad situation. And he's asking about that and sort of used bookstores and how I, as an author, feel about people buying my book used, because you only make the money off the book one time. Once someone buys it at a store, they buy it new, then they bring it to a used bookstore and sell it. After that, I don't see any money from that transaction. And I guess the way I come down on this is that it never pays to be stingy with your art. I'm not saying give it away for free, obviously. If you're good at something, get paid for it. But you don't want to restrict access to your art. And what I mean by that is any money I might lose from, a used book of mine getting bought and sold or, traded around, I could be gaining a lifetime fan who will in the future spend money on my books. So I think it's worth it. I think you want that. The thing you want the most as a creator is you want to find your audience. You want your book to connect with the right audience, and that's when, that magic happens. And word of mouth is always your bestest friend as an artist. That's what you want. You want positive word of mouth. You want people talking about your book, being excited about your book, and it's the same for games. I realize the level of profit that they're losing is probably not the same, not comparable. A $60 game is not the same as a $15 book, but I think it's the same principle. You don't want to restrict access to your product. You want it to find its audience. And so if I say go to GameStop and pick up, BioShock, and I love it, then I'm much more likely to risk, a $60 day one purchase or pre-purchase of something like BioShock Infinite, the games that come down the line. So to me, it's any loss you would think would be minimal compared to what you might gain in the long term. But I don't have the numbers. I'm sure they have a vault of analysts and poring over data to try and figure this out. I'm sure they're really, doing their best. But for me, I would hope that they would realize restricting people's access to their games and to their product is not a sound long-term strategy. Not only because it sort of sours people on the product and their company, but because you want people to find the right product. You want your audience to connect with your work. And so in my opinion, gaming is a young industry. It is. It hasn't been around in any relevant sense for very long. We're still talking about an industry that's 50 years young, or even younger than that. And books have been around for a long time. So even though there's been adjustments with the internet and new media for books, we know they're not going anywhere. With games, there's still this question of what function they serve. Are they art? Are they pure entertainment? So I think right now games are sort of having this huge identity crisis, and we're seeing it, we're witnessing it firsthand, and it's a little scary to me that they're really trying to freeze out that used industry and that side of things, because like I said, I think they're risking alienating people, and they're risking never getting that long-term customer, that long-term repeat customer. So that's my answer. I hope I answered the question, which I think if I boil it down is yes, there are parallels. They're not exactly the same, but there are parallels. And I think most authors would agree that you would rather lose those sales and gain you know, a loyal fan, a loyal customer, then never have them find your work in the first place. So I hope that answered your question. It's a fascinating topic. I don't know if there is really an answer, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Any of you, not just Dan, obviously, you're all welcome to chime in. Let me know what you think. And I'm excited because Asylum's coming out tomorrow. Woo! So here is my obligatory please. I am begging you, go out and buy it. Shilling message. Sorry, Dan, I have to tack that onto your question there. But no, it's an amazing book. It's just super rad, and you guys are gonna love it. So please go out and grab your copy, or on your Kindle, or however you like to get your books. And I mean, it would mean the world to me if you guys did that. And yeah, so happy Monday. Thank you for your question, Dan. And I'm sure I'll be making another video soon. Probably tomorrow, because I'm excited. So take care, all of you guys, and get ready for Asylum. Woot!